month. So, but really proud of him. You know, we knew it was going to be critical to get 2 wins in this division against 2 really good teams, Minnesota and then this one, Green Bay, at their places. So to be able to do that was big. We had a number of guys step up. I thought defensively, man, you know, and where we needed it most, it really showed up. And we limited points. We held them in the red zone. We got off the field on 3rd down. Just a lot of guys making critical plays. Kirby's pick 6 was huge. It was a massive play right before halftime. And offensively, man, that O-line did an outstanding job. We were able to run it. We were pretty efficient. You know, Dave Montgomery and Gibby got going. I thought St. Brown had a big game for us in the pass game. Goff played clean football, man. Got us in the right play. Was very efficient. Just got a lot of trust in him, man, and what he's doing and how he's playing. So we flipped the field. Jack Fox, man, flipped the field because we knew that was going to be a big thing for us, was field position. So a number of guys played well. It's a great win, and that gets us to 7. Yeah, that's him. He's got a knack about it, right? He's a football player, and it's one of the things that we liked about him when he was coming out. There was a rawness to him, you know, but he had these ball skills and the ability to track the ball, and we really felt like he could grow and become, you know, a pretty good safety in this league.
told that you never make it, hopeless so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes win. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose, move on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running and maybe we just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
Yeah. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lion Villain Report. It is Victory Monday, Overreaction Monday. The Lions destroy the Packers 24-14, and it wasn't even that close. We are broadcasting live right now into the Lions Villain Squad Facebook page, where we have over 56,000 followers. Will I have billions when we can have thousands? Yes, we're broadcasting live into YouTube right there at Lions Villain Squad. We're broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions News Podcast Network right there on Facebook. Thank you to Joe Chapp and the boys, along with the JC Sports Network right there. We are brought to you by NFL Shop. You can get one of them snazzy looking black Jahmyr Gibbs jerseys by either following that QR code, or you can use this link that I am throwing into the comments right now. Thank you to our affiliate marketing partners of the NFL Shop. We are the undrafted free agent, the UDFA of sports podcasting. So make sure that you're liking and sharing and commenting, and you're supporting in that way, because that's free. It's absolutely free for you to hit that like button. We appreciate everybody that does that right there. It's faith, family, and then football on this program. In that order, we use football to spend time with our families and to create memories with our families. We don't let football use us. And here we are. It is officially Victory Monday, and that's what we're doing right here. Welcome to the program, Emmy nominated main event Mike.
Good morning, Russ. Good morning, villains. It's Victory Monday. None better than a victory over the Packers.
All right, I got a little surprise before you get into the tail of the tape right here. I think that you're going to like this. So let's do this.
I don't think it matters where we play at. Doesn't matter about the conditions. We knew that coming in here. We want to know if we validated anything. Are we going to validate being able to play in the weather? It doesn't matter, man. That's just the way you're built. It's the way you're built. That's an outstanding win, man. That's 2 division wins. I am unbelievably proud of you guys. That's the way to come in and just ball. That's the way to ball. All right? I got 2 game balls. Number 1. All right, on defense, 4 tackles, 1 huge pick 6. Kirby jumps.
Hey, man, you know it's super, man. But I just want to say, man, I appreciate all y'all, man. Could not do this without my team and the coach, man. I just want to say I appreciate y'all and I love y'all, man.
Next one here. All right, on offense, just close the game out. 17 carries, 73 yards, 3 catches, 23 yards. And we talked about at the end, got the first down. We nailed this thing down. David Montgomery.
I wouldn't want to do it with another group of guys, man. I'm grateful and I'm blessed to be here, man. Let's do this thing. Let's go all the way. Yes, sir.
All right.
Get inside, man. Like I said the other day, man, as long as we going, we growing, man. Family on 3, family on me 1, 2, 3, family.
Yeah. I wanted to... Shush. All right. I'm back in now. All right, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, man, that's just amazing. What you got me all pumped up with that, Dan Campbell. I mean, I love that Montgomery got a game ball, and that was obviously for the work he did there on the last series to get that first down to ice the game. Just wonderful. I mean, his stat line wasn't all that great, 17 carries, 73 yards, but that is a 4.3 yard average. Green Bay seemed to be real committed to stopping the run. It seemed like in that game, the Green Bay Packers actually outrushed us 138 to 124. We had some negative yardage too in the run game that kind of hurt us. Otherwise, it would have been a tight one right down the road. You ready for me to run down the box score, Russ? And let's go to the tail of the tape.
Go ahead. I'm going to try to follow you here.
Okay, because I just love that clip of Dan Campbell. That was awesome that you put that on the show this morning. I could definitely get used to that. Lions win 24-14, but it wasn't that close, folks. Jared Goff, efficient, playing disciplined football. 18 completions on 22 attempts, 145 yards and a touchdown, a passer rating of 109.3. David Montgomery, as we said, a 4.3 yard average on 73 yards on 17 carries. Jahmyr Gibbs with a big touchdown run and a 5.9 yard average. He had 11 carries for 65 yards. Lions total 124 yards total in rushing. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 catches, 56 yards, a touchdown, and the greatest celebration team troll I've ever seen. Jack Campbell led the defense again. Well, most Mike linebackers do lead the team in defense, so it's not that big. Look at that. Look at that, folks. If you were wondering why Amon-Ra stood on his head and Tim Patrick made his arms out wide, it's so we could make that graphic. The greatest player troll in history on the field, in my opinion. I mean, he'll have to be retired and go crazy on Twitter to even come close to Antonio Brown. But as an after touchdown celebration, it doesn't get any better than FTP with the human numbers making the human letters making the T. I just can't get over how awesome that is. After arriving to the game in a hoodie that says Green Bay sucks, he makes the T in the FTP with his teammate after the touchdown. I just can't get over how amazing that is. Next. Like I said, Jack Campbell did lead the defense with 13 tackles, but folks, we're not going to let him off the hook. The pass rush is still not there. We're going to talk about that later in this program, so be sure to stick around for that. The defense, only 2 QB hits all night and 0 sacks. Jordan Love playing injured on an injured groin, definitely hobbling him. He wasn't able to get under center, which caused a lot of fumbles on the snap because he's in shotgun in the rain. That definitely helped us out, put him in some third and long. They had to go away from the run. They were able to run the ball early on us. Josh Jacobs had 100 total scrimmage yards in the first half alone. He finishes the game with 13 carries for 95 yards and a very respectable 7.3 yard per rush average, that by virtue of a 37-yarder that he had that really pumped up that average. Emmanuel Wilson also 4 carries, 28 yards, and 1 touchdown. They had 138 yards total rushing. Jordan Love, 23 of 39. Not great. 273 yards, no touchdowns and an interception, and a QB rating of a paltry 69.7. A couple other notables here in the team stats. Green Bay outgained the Lions 411 yards to 261 yards. In the red zone, though, the Lions defense able to stiffen up and let the Packers go 1 for 4 in the red zone. They also had a missed field goal that really helped swing the momentum, while the Lions themselves were 2 for 4 in the red zone. And penalties, probably the biggest story of this game for Packer fans. As I went through some of the trash talking groups early this morning, they were just crying. I mean, crying about the referees. Penalties. 10 penalties for the Packers for 67 yards, while the Lions had 5 penalties for 51 yards. Believe me, that made a huge difference in the game. But I thought like all of the penalties were legit. Time of possession, however, even with all those yards being against the Lions still controlled time of possession, controlled the game, just like Dan Campbell was saying there. Didn't matter about the weather. Didn't matter. They're built for this. And they control time of possession 31 minutes to 28 minutes. And that's your tale of the tape today.
Oh, I love it, Mike. Yeah, and I think that you give them a little too much credit. And I know that the stats show that. And I had a hard time coming in there with the stats because the game was over in the third quarter. There was no competition there at the end. They score a garbage time touchdown at the end of the game where they are moving the ball, but you want to run out the clock, we're going to let you run out the clock. They were giving them these little dink and dunks in that second half. They played good for the first half. They stayed right up with us. They were and they made a crucial mistake. And one thing that we're not doing, which is a good thing, is we didn't throw a lot of extra stuff on tape. We were just kind of running the ball in the second half. It wasn't well in control. There was never a point where Green Bay was starting to come back, trying to come back. They scored that touchdown real late on just kind of in garbage time where we just kind of made them take a long time to get down the field. So even though the stats showed that they doubled us up, they were never in control of the game. They never had a chance to be in control of the game. They did give up some yards in between the 20, like they have done every single game right there. And you know what they do? This isn't Jordan Love failing and not getting it done in the red zone. This is every team that plays the Lions. You know why? Because our red zone defense is the best red zone defense in the NFL. We will let you get to that spot. We'll let you take a bunch of time off the clock to get down the field. But when it comes down to it, we don't let you score touchdowns. That's why you lost, Green Bay. That's why you're good, but we're levels above you. We're levels above you at every skill position. You take our best player out of the game. You want to cry about the referees? They don't eject players. They do that in college. They don't do that in the pros. Dan Campbell said he's never even been part of an ejection in his entire coaching career. They don't do that right there. It was a hit. It was a hit.
Before you move on to that, Russ, I want to piggyback on your point of how the Lions, even though they did outgain us in the box score, I don't think it can be understated what a weapon Jack Fox is, okay? He had 200 yards in punt, okay? That flips the field. He had a 60-yard punt at a crucial time in the game in the first half yesterday. What a weapon. That is the key to why these games are like this, where they've got to drive 80, 90 yards, and they just stall out when they get to the red zone against our defense. Like, by the time they get down there, we have figured them out, and they can't get anything else when it gets down there. And I think it can't be understated that was Jack Fox. Sorry about interrupting your flow there, brother. Go ahead.
Oh, you're all right, man. I think it's about time that I acknowledge the people that are in the comments right here. Jeffrey Addison is in the house. That's right. Good morning to you on this Victory Monday. Jay Smooth up in the house. Here, let me get my ugly mug off of there right there. Jay Smooth up in the house. We got Kyle up in the house. The Pack didn't show up this game, and they won't show up at Ford Field either. Well, I saw something in this game that I didn't have as much confidence in because maybe PTSOL, but the Lions are a better team. They're going to be a better team. They just are. Dwayne, rest in peace, Quincy Jones.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's sour notes, man. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Good morning to the fam. Paul Jones. Good morning to the villains in the family. All right. Dale in the house. Scotty Reno in the house. Jay-Z in the house. Never bet against Dan Campbell. Nope. Branch and JMO going off next week. That's right. Joseph in the house. Fred Peterson in the house. J Mommy's in the house. Wow, I love it, man. Maurice is in the house. Joseph in the house. The bad guy is in the house. Chad's in the house. We got him out on Victory Monday. Good morning. Great game day. Good morning to you, Terry. Good morning to you, Dale. Wow. Look at that. Just getting into that. And that's even before the Lions gear got there. This episode obviously is going to be brought to you by the NFL Shop. Use that link. And if you use that link, you're helping out our page, man. We appreciate you. You can get some of that snazzy jersey. You can save up to 30% off by using our link too, guys. The Central Scrutinizer's in the house. Jay Smooth. That's right. That pick was insane. And Jimmy Hoffa. Do I have to sit through this? You do. You have to sit through this and like this. You ran your mouth all last week, and you're just going to sit here and watch us do a touchdown dance if you're going to come on here. I appreciate you for coming on here. I appreciate you coming on here, Jimmy Hoffa. I thought that I was going to have to go look for you and try to find you like the real Jimmy Hoffa. I thought you were missing like the real Jimmy Hoffa. But you showed up. So I give kudos to you for that, but we spanked your team. We spanked your team like you didn't even have the right to be on the field with us. So, yeah, you showed your face. You showed your face. That's right. Jay Smooth is in the house. Steve, there you go. The Lions executed off of our – no, we just pounded the ball down your throat and kicked your ass in all three phases of the game. It wasn't just your mistakes. It was domination. Our offensive line dominated your defensive line. And Mike said if we couldn't run the ball, but, I mean, I'm looking at that, what 6 yards a carry and 5 yards a carry. We dominated you guys on the ground again. It's like, feels good to be a Lion fan. That's the name of the game. Good morning to Carolyn. Man, I don't know if we could be able to get through all these. Let's do a topic now. What do you want to talk about, Mikey?
I want to talk about that hit with Brian Branch that you alluded to earlier, and I cut you off.
Yeah, let's get in there. Let's get in there and talk about that. I got a little bit over here on the side. The thing is, it's like it deserved to be a 15-yard penalty. He went right and he led with the head. It's a penalty. Like in every other game, every other hit like that out of the 16 games that were played in the NFL this week, or 15 games, every hit like that was flagged for 15 yards, and then they went on with the game. Why was Brian Branch special with his hit? It's not like he went after him and like stomped on him while he was down on the ground. He came in and laid an illegal hit that was flagged for 15 yards. What was the need for the ejection? I don't get it. Was it because he was flipping him off and acting like a kid? And that right there, I can't condone. I mean, keep your cool, Brian Branch. I'd like to see you handle that a little bit better next time. Just that part of it. But laying a hit, I mean, he hit the guy. It was an illegal hit. It was a 15-yard penalty. He led with it, went right at his head. It deserved a 15-yard penalty, but not ejection from the game. Not in that game. Not with that rivalry where the guys are playing chippy and they're playing hard and they're hitting each other a little bit harder. They're talking a little bit more trash. You know, this is different. Referees, you got to stop trying to control games. Now, it didn't affect the game. We still beat your ass. Even without our 2 best players, we beat your ass. But referees, stop doing that. I mean, just in all games, not just this game, all games. Get out of the game as much as you possibly can, referees, and let these players play. Mike, thoughts?
I'm not. It's an unpopular opinion, but I'm in the other camp, Russ. I'm here with Mark G, who says that the rule for ejection is very inconsistent in the NFL, and it is. So, for 100%, that's a great call out. However, I'm on the side where if it had been the other way around, and that had been Jair Alexander hitting my receiver in the head the way it happened, I'd be yelling, eject him, eject him. So I am down. I'm okay with the ejection. In fact, right when it happened, I say, oh, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone. And then there was this long delay. I didn't know at the time, but the double flip that he gave the crowd in Lambeau, maybe that is what pushed it over the edge. But they called the penalty. Then they went upstairs, and the replay officials are the ones that called for the ejection. Yep. So I think the double flip of the crowd may have come after. Once he found out he was being ejected, yes, he gave the double finger flip to the crowd to say goodbye. But I'm okay with the ejection. I thought it was. I think he really could have hurt him a lot worse. That's the gray area. That's where Mark's saying it's inconsistent is the intent, right? He could have took the guy's head right off. He actually pulled back a little like, oops, I'm going to hit him in the head. And the momentum carried him into it. I am okay with the ejection, though. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I just can't help but feel if it were the other way around, I'd be calling for an ejection, so I'm okay with it.
We wouldn't. But would we? Would we be
I would
calling
be.
it? Would you really? Honestly,
Yeah, you hit him right. Not only did you hit him in the helmet,
Mike,
you hit him right in the
listen to me.
face.
Listen, hold on a minute. I'm not asking to answer the question yet. But would you really, when I say that, like, when do you see that in NFL? It's like that doesn't happen in the NFL. Name the ejections that have happened this year, period. What is so flagrant about that hit? Like every other crown hit that happened, there was probably 50 crown hits.
There was one in the Monday night game. Didn't a Seattle player get ejected from the game against the Lions on Monday Night Football for the same thing this year?
It's like I thought that the ejection was too much. But the thing is I'm not going to die on that hill. He hit him with the crown or the helmet. But I mean, I have more of a problem with they didn't eject him with the referees that were right there and watched the play happen. It was some jerk off in New York that was like, yeah, I saw it. Like he's watching film. You weren't there, bro. You weren't there. You didn't see the intent. Why didn't they let the referees on the field make the call?
I think Ken Fisher has the answer right here. So you cannot have two unsportsmanlike conducts in the same game or you'll be ejected. So maybe he got one for the hit and then one for the finger. And that made his second unsportsmanlike, and that's what got him ejected. That might be the explanation that we're all searching for here on this.
Yeah, but it didn't happen like that. You're right about the double bird came from the fact that he got ejected. He got ejected before the bird happened. He didn't just flip him off. Dude, he knew he hit the guy with the crown of his helmet. He wasn't objecting that. It's taking him out of that game. Out of that game, Mike. This isn't just some, Seattle Monday night game where, this is kind of cute. This is Lions versus Packers. This is like a rivalry that goes back to the forefathers of the NFL, and like get out of the game is what I'm saying. You made the call. It's a 15-yard penalty. I'm not disputing that. And I'm not going to die on the hill. You ejected the guy. I'm definitely going to be against them giving him a game like suspension for that hit. You already took him out of the game. I think that he served his term as far as I would be concerned. And that's a good question for you guys out there. I mean, we can all acknowledge it was a bad hit, and that it should have been penalized. And you and I can argue about the semantics of whether he should have been ejected or not. But do you think he should get more discipline? I mean, they could give him a game suspension for this if they think that it's way worse than I think it is. Right?
I love Carolyn's comment here. He got ejected while still on the field. The finger salute happened as he was walking down the tunnel. There you go. So he was flipping the crowd off on his way up. So the ejection had already happened. Thank you, Carolyn, for clearing that up for us. Jay Smooth's point here, he tried to Tua him, and that's where I'm okay with the ejection. Not only was the receiver defenseless, but he knocked him backwards in such a way that, I mean, we're lucky the guy got up. And he did. Bo Melton, kudos to Bo Melton. He hammed it up a little bit, too, after he got hit. And as soon as the flag came out, he popped right up. So kudos to him on that. But, I don't agree with a fine or a suspension in this case. You already ejected the player from the game. That's pretty strict enforcement of the penalty there.
Well, you said something in there that makes sense to me because you said yourself that there was a move where he hesitated before he laid the hit, where you're right. He could have taken his head off, but he didn't. That's why he shouldn't have been ejected. That move, the thing that you admitted in your take is the move that should have saved him from being ejected, because he could have really hurt him. He could have hit him way worse than he did. It was a bad hit. Should have been flagged, but Branch, you know how Branch do. You know how Branch really hits, like and this is a rivalry game. That's the problem I have with it. These guys were all hitting. Every player on both sides of the team. This is a rivalry game, bitch. Let's go. We're trying to see who's the best in the division. And it's like you take our best defending player out of there. I mean, just like that, like gone. Like we're already down Hutchinson. You just take the best player out of there. Like you can agree with it, but that's pretty savage. I mean, if you want to complain about referees, that's pretty savage what you did to us, referees. That's pretty savage. Remove our best player from a rivalry game. That's pretty savage.
Jay Smooth, who's a Packer fan, says, since Bo Melton wasn't hurt, I don't think anything more should happen. That's a great call out, Jay. Right, no injury in the play. Maybe that mitigates the discipline that the NFL will lay down on this.
And I understand I'm a Homer Lion fan, so obviously I got my lion eyes on, and I only see it from our point of view. So that's good to know that a Packer fan says that.
You can't hide your lion eyes.
Can't get anything by you, Mike. Oh, it feels good though. This was such a big win for the Lions in more ways than one. This isn't just about the NFC North. As a matter of fact, this makes it so we can kind of put the NFC North behind us for a minute, because that's not big enough thinking, because this now puts us as the number one team in the entire NFC. And we got to keep the pedal to the metal. This like CJ Stroud team that we got to go face isn't the same juggernaut that we thought that they were going to be at the beginning of the season. He is definitely not quite the quarterback that he was without Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins. When he was missing his playmakers, it's definitely showing up in Stroud's play. So I like where we're at going forward with the NFC. And I mean, how many games do you see us losing out of these? What, we got 9 games left. What do you say? Just putting you on a spot here that we finished the last 9 games.
I think we lose 2 more games. We finished 14-3.
14-3. That would be amazing to me.
We get the number 1 seed, and the road to the Super Bowl goes through Motown. You picked 12 at the beginning of the year. I picked 11. But this team has, through 8 games, 7-1. Neither of us thought they would be that good. And the schedule coming up, we got Houston, but then we get Jacksonville. We get Indianapolis. These are some teams the Lions absolutely can and will beat. Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams tweaked his ankle in the game yesterday. And Chicago got blown out too by a not great Arizona team. They got beat by 20 points by Arizona. Oh. So I think that. Sweeping the Bears doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. Minnesota might get one from us. Green Bay might get one from us. We're lucky that we get both of them at home. We still got to play San Francisco in Frisco. That's going to be a tough game. So I think 2 more losses is realistic. I'd be great if they don't.
You want to talk about Zadarius Smith a little bit here? Because this seems like it's like the unofficial official. And, we just have our crappy podcast, so we can say whatever we want on here. But it was reported that either last night or today, they're finalizing a deal to send Zadarius Smith here to your Detroit Lions. Does that move the needle for you?
It does move the needle for me. That is something. He did something. He went out and got a legit pass rusher. Zadarius Smith isn't Myles Garrett. He's not Max Crosby. Okay, no problem. But you know what? He's better than what we've got over there at the end. And, if we start the 2025 season with Aiden Hutchinson and Zadarius Smith and Marcus Davenport at ends, I like that. I think we're good there. But however, this isn't finalized. This is all just rumor right now. Hopefully by the time we go live tonight at 7 p.m. for the main event football show, there will be something that has happened on that front. But yeah, that moves the needle for me. If he would have just stood pat, and you and I have talked about it for the last 2 weeks, if Brad Holmes would have just stood pat with the guys we got, I think we've seen in the last 2 games, sure, we won, but the pass rush has been anemic. Jordan Love yesterday had all kinds of time. Brad Holmes has said it in his pressers after the last 2 games. We knew the pass rush was going to be tough, so we laid extra responsibility on the back end, and they have rose to the challenge, and they did again yesterday as well.
I think that there's a certain strategy shift that happened when Hutchinson went out, because when you have a guy like Hutchinson, attacking the quarterback and getting sacks is like, you want to be that type of defense. That's the type of defense that we wanted to be. But when Hutchinson went out, you have to change your style. And when you have back end guys like Kirby and like Brian Branch and even these young secondary guys, especially like Amik Robertson, what a great free agent pickup that was. Like, you're leaning more on those guys. I'm not saying that you want them to throw the ball, but maybe you do want them to throw the ball, because that puts your playmaking secondary guys in a spot where they can make a play. They're giving opportunity with the defense now to the secondary rather than giving opportunity to the pass rushers trying to get to the quarterback. So I think it's a different type of style. I never felt like Jordan Love was ever comfortable back there. Yeah, you say all time. Maybe he had some time back there, but it wasn't comfortable time. It was like ticking time bomb time, where he knew he only had a few seconds, but we're out there playing man defense with very dangerous safeties, and he got gun shy. That's why he's spending so much time back there, because we're being back sticky on the coverage. So I think Zadarius Smith will change that a little bit. I think that we'll be able to have opportunities to attack the quarterback a little bit more, because he's a bona fide pass rusher, doesn't have to come off to, stopping the run. So he's a good run stopper too. So he's a good complete defensive end, and that's what we've been lacking. And we put that there and get Josh Pascal back. I think we might be okay with just that.
Yeah, Zadarius Smith, it hasn't happened yet, though. It's saying, everyone's saying it's a foregone conclusion, but the trade deadline is tomorrow. So there's still time for another team to swoop in there, sweeten the deal, and take him out from under us. So I'm going to be a little cautious about even talking about Zadarius Smith. Hopefully by the time we get on the show tonight, something will happen.
Well, Zadarius Smith did some blue stuff on his social
I saw that. Profile. He put up a picture of himself in Honolulu blue outfit.
Yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through some of these comments here. Paul Jones says, I can speak for myself, but I've never seen a targeting call that didn't result in an ejection. I've seen a lot of targeting calls that didn't result in an ejection, but I see them a lot more in college. I think that they protect the college players a hell of a lot more than they protect the pro players.
Yeah, but when you hit a player like a defenseless receiver, that's unnecessary roughness. It's not even subject to an ejection. But unsportsmanlike conduct is. And I think that's what Paul is saying, that when the call is specifically targeting, like the intent was to hit you in the head, launch myself like a missile into your dome. That's when the ejections happen, and I have to agree with Paul. Anytime it's like that,
didn't that happen?
Targeting, they get ejected.
Yeah, but the crown of the helmet hit, it's an illegal hit to the head, and I don't think they call that. That part's not called unsportsmanlike conduct. I think that's not what he got called. It's an illegal hit to the head. And it was the targeting came from New York, right? They're the ones that brought the targeting.
I don't know about any of this because Chada makes a great point here. He might be right. Targeting is a college ejection. It's not even in the NFL. So we're a couple knuckleheads that don't know what we're talking about. Very possible. We'll have to look into that. Be sure to tune in tonight at 7 p.m. It is the main event football show, and I will do the research on that and I'll make my note on it right now. I'm going to get the lowdown on the difference between targeting and just helmet to helmet.
Yeah. In my layman terms, the ejection came from New York. That wasn't a call that was out on the field with the referees that were in Lambeau. That New York called them up and said, "Hey, we watched this. You're gonna kick him out of the game for targeting." Okay, and then they did what they were supposed to. I mean, Jack Campbell is a destroyer of ball carriers. Yeah, 13 tackles. What a great game out of Jack Campbell. I mean, he's really took him a minute to mature into that role, but I think that he's sliding right into that middle linebacker role that they drafted him at 18th overall last year to be. Any thoughts on Jack Campbell?
Well, he is the middle linebacker, and every middle linebacker on every NFL team leads the team in tackles. So he is doing his job, and he's not missing tackles. He is being, I think he's been a beast in the coverage as well. It's something that doesn't get talked about a lot, but if you watch the replays, he is reading and reacting to the play. And when it's a pass, he's able to drop into coverage and help eliminate the middle of the field. That has been a huge key for the Lions not getting a pass rush is the pass defense that we're getting on the back end. And Jack Campbell's also contributing to that. And I don't think he's getting a lot of credit for that. That's not something that shows up in the box score. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow is PFF Tuesday right here on the Villain Report with Russell Wayne. Russell will have all of those PFF grades on things like pass coverage from Jack Campbell. So check it out tomorrow at 10 a.m.
One thing that I'm definitely looking forward to looking at is how many hurries did the pass rushers get? Because if I'm looking at it with my eyes, I saw Jordan Love have to move off of his spot. He was not comfortable for a lot of that game. So we'll see. I mean, if there's 10 hurries, I mean, Aiden Hutchinson goes out there and gets 13 hurries on his own. Like he just he's just a wrecking machine. But it seemed like over the last 3 weeks, that whole hurry thing was distributed. You get a couple of guys that have like 5 or 6, and then a bunch of dudes that have 2 and 1. Send a bunch of different packages in there. And
I think maybe Carolyn did some research for us here. She says in the NFL, targeting does not carry an automatic ejection, but players can still be disqualified from the game. Whereas in college, that targeting is an automatic ejection. So that might be the answer right there. However, that goes back to Mark's point. This call is so inconsistent on when a player is ejected and when he's not ejected. So Carolyn goes on to follow up and say, depending on the severity of the hit or if it's deemed a repeat offense.
I think that let me go. I'm trying to find Steve in here if he said something there. Steve says Branch needs to play smarter. What if he caused a serious injury to a player? He hit him with the ground of his helmet. There's no doubt that he did that. I mean, but I see I see those in every game. I feel like I see a hard hit like that in every single game. Some of them don't even get called. So it's like, I mean, Branch needs to play smarter. I mean, I don't know. I don't want him to lose any of that aggressiveness. I want him to continue to attack people like that. And like you said, he let up. He could have hit him a lot harder than that, Steve. He could have hit him a lot. So, Branch will also be fined very big, and Russell should pay his fine. Why should I pay his fine?
Just goes to show you don't know anything. You think Russell's going to pay his fine. I like that call here. Harpazzo says 2 flagrant fouls will kick you out of the game. I'm pretty sure that's basketball.
But yeah, I agree with Steve on that. I think Branch will definitely get a fine for that. He's going to pay for that one with his pocketbook. That was, I mean, it was a hit. It was an illegal hit to the head.
Jay Smoot says he didn't need to hit him. He watched him not catch the ball. But at that point, Joe Jay, isn't his momentum already carrying him into the player? And that's what I mean by he pulled up a little. He could have took that guy's head right off. But because he didn't catch the ball, he pulled up a little, and he did hit him right in the face, which caused his head to snap back and hit the ground. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. I'm okay with the ejection on that point alone.
That sounds like a comment from somebody that's never played football before, because I mean, you think you act like he had, like, it's like all this happened in about a third of a second. Catch, boom. The
villains are on fire this morning, Russ. Jimmy calls this one out. He called the ref a bitch. I'll be surprised if nothing comes of it. Absolutely. He called him. He said, "You're both bitches." Yeah, I read his lips. He said, "Both y'all bitches," as he was on his way out of the stadium. So, yeah.
After they kicked him out.
Love it.
I
gotta jump off. I gotta jump off, Russ. I'll let you keep this conversation going. Don't forget, 7 p.m. tonight. I'll have all the answers for you on the Main Event Football Show. See ya.
That's Main Event Mike right there. That's Main Event Mike. Still winning without the best. I like that. And Steve, are you trying to play a victim right here? It's like he got penalized for it, bro. He got penalized for it. He got kicked out of the game. You got what you wanted. He made a mistake, and he paid for it. The team paid for it. What else do you want? He'll get a fine too. What else do you want? You want him to give you your firstborn? I mean, that's fine. I mean, you got to go. I still don't think they should have kicked him out of the game. Hard hits happen. You're taking all the aggressiveness out of the game. The NFL is trying to take out physicality. That's it. They're trying to take the physicality. The next step is let's play flag football. Let's play flag football. Collins should be back for our game, hopefully. I was happy to see Green Bay play Love. I knew that he would be hated for his lack of hampered for his lack of mobility. Yeah. Central scrutinizer. I think that we could win 14 in a row. I said 11, 12. I had him at 12 wins. Jacobs got hurt yesterday. He hardly played in the second half. Who's laughing at my 3-loss prediction now? I mean, there's still a lot of season left, but so far, so good. Corey Patterson. Arizona isn't as bad as people think, though. That's true. Zadarius Smith is going to be a force for us. What's up, Broski Bear? Broski Bear comes out of witness protection. I got to put the graphic up that I made for you guys. It's the first Bear fan to rear his ugly head in 2 weeks. And I know it's hard to lose. I know it's hard to show up when you lose, but it's good to see you on here. It's good to see you on here. Smith is a good edge. Bills to San Francisco. Brady kept calling Love a rookie. Steve says, don't write off the Packers just yet. Our bye week is this week. We will get healthy. We will be ready. Well, you're an average team right now. And maybe you'll get better, but right now you're not even as good as the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings are a better team than the Packer. Right now, you're a third place team in the division. So I hope for your sake that you do get better, because you're okay. You're okay. Just like last year's non-reporting penalty in Dallas came from New York too. Yeah, it's all right though. You know what? I'm not going to die on the hill right here. I mean, when he did that hit, he's lucky that he didn't actually, seriously hurt the guy. Because, you want to be physical. I don't want him to lose the physicality. And to tell you the truth, it was a vicious hit, but I know Brian Branch. That wasn't as vicious as Brian Branch could have did it. So, you got to know that. Dale says that I'm not discrediting any team in the NFC North. We are hands down the best division in football. Okay. That's good. The cream always rises to the crop. The cream always rises to the top. And I know that we had a ton of Packer fans in here running their mouths last week, talking about how we ain't what we say we are. And I'm glad to see that the Lions did it. That I went into that game yesterday with some nerves because of the history with the Packers. The Packers, historically, especially when Aaron Rodgers was there, they used to play the Lions really tough. They always, you always felt like you were going to play tough and lose. But now it feels like that the other way around. I feel like the Packers are a good team, but we're better. Like, the Packers aren't going to be better than us. They got out-coached. They got outlined. We have better running backs. Our wide receivers were better. Special teams was better. We're just a better team, a deeper team. And good teams, they execute. They're good teams. They're not going to make as many mistakes because they're fluid. They know each other. They grew up together. Most of these guys have been on the same team with each other from 2021, 2022. It ain't that the Packers are that bad. It's that the Lions are that good. And the Bears came back down to earth. I'm sure that most of their fan base wants to fire their coach by this time. You had that Commanders team dead to rights. You had that Commanders team dead to rights. And it's because of coaching that you were even in that game. It's because of coaching. You should have won that game by 3 touchdowns. Your coaching failed you in that game. And then it snowballs. You almost got away with it. I couldn't even believe it. When I saw Matt Eberflus call a 4th down run play to a guard that has like 1 carry in his career. That's what you're doing on the most important play of the game. Unbelievable. You had that, and then the whole thing snowballed for it, and then it snowballed right into the Arizona game, and they just smacked you around. So the Bears are in the basement again, and they're probably going to stay in the basement. I don't see that getting better all of a sudden. And the Packers, they're not quite as good as the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings are love that defensive coordinator. I like that. I like that. I think that they are formidable. And I'm not scared of the Minnesota Vikings, but that's a pretty good team. They play pretty good in all three phases. They got an attacking defense that they're very, very advantageous. They can force you into mistakes. Carolyn, the momentum did carry him. We have to remember that he is, remember the wet, rainy conditions and how hard it is to put the brakes on and stop. That's true. Because Steve wants to keep harping on it. Hey, hey, Steve, they kicked the player out of the game. Now, I can agree with it or not agree with it. It doesn't even matter what I think. But the fact is they kicked him out of the game. You're going to keep on harping on it? You're going to keep on harping on it? How about I harp on that play against Jahmyr Gibbs where your guy actually lunged into his knee and tried to injure my running back? Why don't they review that play? And everybody knows what I'm talking about, too. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. That Jahmyr Gibbs run where he tried to take a chop shot right to Jahmyr Gibbs' knee. Dun, 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 dun. Jeremy says Jimmy Hoffa been here today. He has. Jimmy Hoffa showed up for his team today. Steve showed up for his team today. And there was even a Broski sighting in here. And I want to make sure that I'm trying to get here current. I don't want to miss people. So again, the Packers had more garbage time to get a double-digit loss. Yeah, they were never close. The 24-14 doesn't really tell the story in the game. They were never close in the game. And the thing is the Lions just have the best red zone defense in the league. You know, outside of that garbage time touchdown that you got at the end with the 2-point conversion, you scored 2 field goals. You got 2 field goals. That high-powered offense. Ooh. You got 2 field goals. So I like that. So again, I got to find Jeremy in here again. Oh. Dan pulled the reins back. We did. When you watch him not catch the ball, and then try to take him out. Yeah, I didn't. How do you know that he saw him not catch the ball? You want to make sure that he doesn't catch the ball. Like once it hits his hands, you want to make sure that he doesn't catch the ball afterwards too. That's when the hit is legal. The only thing that was wrong with that hit was the fact that he led with his head and hit him with the crown. Chad, I think the ejection actually lifted the team to another level. There's probably some truth in that. See you later, Jim. Leading with the head to neck area isn't being a physical player. You can be a physical and make the hit, but not head to the neck. Steve, we're going to go over this again. He was kicked out of the game. Do you want to file criminal charges? Do you want to file criminal charges? And you know, I mean, you got a crying penalty at the end of the game on Amik Robertson. Keep the aggressiveness. It's a good hit. Jimmy Hoffa, yeah, okay, we had been there. You seen all those drop passes? Let's not get out of hand, bud. What? We punked your team. We punked your team. We walked right into your house, which is our house now, by the way, Ford Field North, because the Lions went up into Lambeau and put the boots to them. And it wasn't even as bad as it could have been. It's funny, you know, Xavier McKinney out there crying. Oh, the Lions run up the score. I don't respect that. So we made sure that we ran out like the last quarter of time. We don't want you crying. Just ran the football and respectfully beat your ass. 24-14. Oh. You seen all the drop passes? Yeah, I did. You should play better. Especially if you're going to tout like you're a good team. Good teams don't drop passes. Our next game is versus the Bears. You guys should feel good about that. You should be able to get a date. You should be able to get a dub. What if the Bears beat you too? What if Broski comes in with his Bears and he beats the Packers? Makes the Packers 5-4. Ooh. Tell your team to hit that jug machine. That's right. Practice makes perfect. You won't drop as many passes. You won't drop as many passes if you hit that jugs machine. That'll make you better. You know that Amon-Ra St. Brown has caught 30 passes in a row from Jared Thomas, Michael W. Smith, Goff. 30 passes in a row. He must have forgot the facts in his excuse. Yeah, I saw those drop passes. I did. I saw those drop passes. I'm glad that my receivers don't drop passes. I'm glad that my receivers don't make excuses of why they drop passes. I guess you're trying to justify, maybe you're trying to make Jordan Love out to be a good quarterback. It wasn't Jordan Love's fault. I don't care whose fault it is. Be better. Caleb couldn't carry Goff's jock with a set of kitchen tongs. There you go. Well, at least Flores didn't let Indy put up 30 like last year on Mini. Titans avoided the hangover. That is true. The Titans avoid the hangover. The Titans are the one that break the hangover curse. Couldn't believe that got to 5 games, or was it 6 games? 6 games? Ooh, the golf curse in Lambeau. Yeah, they can't beat Jared Goff in Lambeau. A tackle below the knee was dirty as heck. It sure was. But we don't want to talk about that. We only want to talk about the Lions' dirty guys, because the Packers couldn't do anything bad. I bet they review that play too. Hey, Jimmy, there was a Hoffa spotting at Lambeau. That's good. I'm just hoping that we don't have more calls like this throughout the year, as if I'm going to show what the league's up to that the league don't like us, and we don't care. We don't care. We thrive on that next man up mentality. The next man up mentality. The next player is going to be fine. And I mean, I can't wait to look at the numbers. I know that we need help on the pass rush. But that's 3 games in a row that the Lions won without Aiden Hutchinson. And it's not like they're bad teams that we beat. Well, okay, the Titans are a bad team. But, you know, the Cowboys, the Vikings, the Packers, getting it done. And now it looks like reinforcements might be on the way. The best part was the ejection. Brian flipping off the fans was epic. You know, I mean, you probably get into that a little bit more than I do. Hey, I like being able to do a little bit of trash talk. The Lions have earned the right to be up here trash talking. I think that the Lions have also earned the right to, you know, look past that ejection. Like, that shouldn't be on the front page. It's not like that affected the game. You got ejected. The referees were able to eliminate the Lions' best player, and you still got truck sticked. Hey, Pack fans, the game was over. You lost. Quit crying. Move on. All right. Mike Fisher says, drop passes. I thought Green Bay had 4 number 1 wide receivers. Yeah, me too. The Lions played a complete game, and we didn't. The Lions capitalized off the mistakes. The Lions didn't make any mistakes, so they won the game off of our mistake. No, the thing is like, I'm not going to enable you, Steve, with that take, because that's weak. That almost makes it seem like we didn't take that game from you. The Lions capitalize off of mistakes that they forced you into. The Lions made you make mistakes. And the offensive line dominated your defensive line, and the Lions were just able to run the ball without really putting Goff in any type of harm's way. If you get Goff thrown under 30 passes, you're probably going to lose. Because that means that our offense is running like a well-oiled machine. The Packers are just scared of the line defenders. We flat out embarrassed the Packers fans for leaving at halftime. Yep. I don't know. Bears might win. Lions were in control the entire game. Yes, there was never a time where the Green Bay Packers, I felt like they were going to win the game. I mean, I had PTSOL when it came to, you know, thinking, okay, there's still 3 possessions. It's like, I just want to, you know, stomp it out. But it's like when you go back and look at the whole game, that entire fourth quarter was just, you know, making the Packers take forever to go down and, you know, try to get a field goal. I mean, that's the way that you want to play the game. The Packers should win versus the Bears. They should. But the Bears are feeling, you know, a certain kind of way, Jeremy. The Bears are feeling a certain kind of way about the Packers. I mean, you want to talk about a rivalry. The rivalry, the Bears, I mean, we're like in the thousands of days, like 4,000 days since the Bears have beaten the Packs. So, yeah, the Packers should win versus the Bears, but, you know, that would be a great I wouldn't count those Bears out. I wouldn't count the Bears out. I mean, the rivalry's got to mean something. Five and 4, dude. Okay, so you'd be 6 and 4. So you're looking to get the 6 and 4. Great show. Jeremy says great show. Steve's real mad right now. I really don't care if I mess up the Packers record. I don't care about the Packers no more. I don't have to care about the Packers no more because the Lions are in control of their own destiny. All they have to do is worry about what they're doing. Don't have to worry about the Packers. It ain't the Super Bowl. It's just another game. Packers were in the way. They got stomped. They ain't going to stop Caleb and the juggernaut that is Chicago. Yeah, Demo probably could have had a TD at the end of the game, but he went down. So, no, we didn't run up the score. Yeah, we did the respectable thing. They ran out an entire 2 minutes with kneel downs after they ran out their timeouts. That's the best way to win. Green Bay played like crap, and they lost to a better team. He speaks the truth. Saw a lot of drop passes and loved it. I did. I love that. I love it when players that play for the team the Lions are playing drop passes and don't do their job. Have a blessed day, faith, family, and football. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. You've been watching the Lions Villain Report. This is the Lion Villain Report. We're broadcasting live right now into the Lions Villain Squad Facebook page where we have 56,000 followers. Why have billions when you can have thousands? We are the undrafted free agent of sports podcasting. And that means that you can like and share and comment on this content. You're helping us out a lot because we're blue collar. We may not be the best show that's out there. We might not even be the second best show out there. We might be able to make a case for the third best show. We're moving up. And we're moving on up. That's right. But thank you for supporting our channel right here. Thank you to Joe Chapp and the Detroit Lions News Podcast with the JC Sports Network. Thank you for allowing us to broadcast on your platform. If you want to partner with the Villain Squad, you're in the greater Detroit area and you own a business and you want to partner with the Villain Squad, be guilty by association, get a hold of me with that Mike. 810-620-2167, and he can let you in on all the details on how you can be guilty by association. This episode of the Villain Report brought to you by the NFL Shop, our affiliate marketing partners. Use the link in the comments or the QR code. Save up to 30% off of that smooth looking Jameer Gibbs jersey, especially with that black version. Looks so good. If Christopher Walken was here, he would say the Lions Villain Report is one of my favorite shows. It's at 10 a.m. You should watch it. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life. It could be good for you. I told Minneapolis to get on my back. Donald Schwarzenegger will be back. We're going to find the Lions again. Week 18. It's faith, family, and then football, in that order. We use football to spend time with our family. We use football to create memories. We don't let football use us. And I'm going to take off, guys. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again. That'll be tonight for the Main Event Football Show. God bless you guys. I will talk to you soon.
Hey, yo, the lies told that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me, it's never this way. We indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity.